My coaching business now is it's my 9th business. So I've attempted this many times before. And before I hired Michael, I had just finished this really, really powerful training. And I came back and I just realized I can't play a small game if I want a big impact. So my business was decent. I wasn't making a ton of money. I think I made $4,000 in my first year. I've never been able to support myself with a business. It's always been a hobby or a side project. And last year, I gave myself 6 last months to make this business successful, or I was going to close it, and that was gonna be it. And I really got it through my head that if I wanted a different result, then I needed to bring a different level of accountability into my life, and that I had never individually worked with a business coach, and I was trying to sell this thing that I wasn't actually experiencing for myself. And even though we do this work, we cannot coach ourselves. And I thought maybe if I find someone who can bring a lot of love and support, but also bring some of that strategic know-how, something that I'm just blind to sometimes. And sometimes I can rest too much on my intuition, and there's a structure to these things. And Michael was just a friend and a colleague, and he never tried to sell to me. He just would meet me where I was. I had so much trust with him that when I went to hire him, it was such a no-brainer. We didn't even meet for a hiring conversation. I was having coffee with him and said, oh, by the way, like, I need to hire you, and that's just what's gonna happen. And that was it. I believe that you absolutely get what you put in, and we don't show up for small things. Like, we show up for these bigger visions and this big impact. But when you have no skin in the game, that big vision just becomes like hope. It just becomes a pipe dream. And part of the challenge with Michael is he holds you to it. When I hired him in his Dream Year Intensive, I was convinced I wasn't going to do it. I couldn't afford it. It's like, there's no way. I'm just going to stay right where I am. And I was having this like self-care day, and I got this total download of, but what if you just let yourself dream that that's an option just for a second? Like, just try it on. So I did, and I tried it on, and I wrote about it, and I wrote out this whole laundry list, like, this is what I need to experience in the next year if I'm gonna invest at this level. And I went to meet him, and I gave him the list, and I think he turned it around and handed it back to me and said, awesome, this is your job, not mine. And that was a moment of like, oh shit, like, if this is what I want for myself, I have to show up so much more than I have been. He's an amazing man, and I trusted the way he was approaching his work. I mean, as a coach in this industry, and I've been around this industry for a while, I hadn't the pick of the litter. I mean, I could pick any coach, and I had a lot of people trying to sell me coaching. And Michael just sort of hung back and was like, look, here are the things that I do. And like I said, he never sold to me. And I just felt like I think I can believe in your belief in me every week to show up and do this work together. That's all I needed. I just needed to know that the person that I was working with believed in me more than I did. It's huge. We're just over a year into working together. Everything I ever wanted has happened in significantly less time than I thought was possible. I know that I'm doing the work, but I don't think it would have happened without him. It's all the things we crave as a business. It's referrals only, and more people than I have space for, and making 6 figures, and having these incredible programs that I'm pouring my heart and soul into. So the fact that it's not a dream, like I'm not longing for this thing anymore, it's my reality, is a bit surreal. I always looked forward to seeing Michael, always. I still do. Like, I count down to Tuesdays when I get to see him. And because he's like this bright light in my life. He definitely is an advocate for my authentic voice, and has never tried to put my brand in a box that he contrived. It was all about, what is it you want to create, who is it you want to be, and how can I help make that happen? He has just stepped fully into working with people who are really trying to not just have a successful business. Like, that might be the frame we put it in, but it's not about business. It's about people who are creating things in the world that are very significant to them, that are completely born out of their purpose. And there's a reality to that. There's facts and figures and money and markets, and if you want to go big, you better bring a team along with you. I'm reminded time and time again, the bigger your vision, the bigger your support network has to be. And so I think don't work with Michael unless you're ready to launch your vision into a pretty significant space. That's really what he's built for. The money is inevitable if you're in alignment with yourself and where you want to go and who you want to be in the world. It's just really simple stuff. He's definitely like, he can be the strategy guy, he can be the tactic guy if he has to be, but it's so much bigger than that. It's more about, these are the principles, these are foundations of business. And sometimes he brings in these little teachings and lessons that are so simple and so poignant and stick with me throughout the week. And so he brings just enough of that I have stuff to grab onto and keeps me in alignment, keeps me in line, if anything else. He just has this way of like being there, whether it's you're at a coaching meeting with him and just the way he shows up, like he's so grounded and he's so confident and he's very graceful about it. And you know that he's just like got your back. Like I trust Michael with my life, like he's got my back. He works with both me and Chris, my wife, and we think about like, of all the people in our life, I think about Michael as someone who will always have my back, whether I'm his client or not. And it's that level of like love that someone brings into their work you can't put a price tag on that. It's invaluable. And it's things like, we all have our panic moments and he's available. It's either a text message or a phone call or an email. Even if he's off the grid, he will find a way to make sure that, you're getting what you need. I'm so grateful. I hope I'm a client for life. We joke that he's stuck with us. We're not going anywhere. I hope that he's okay with that. He's just, I don't want to be at the finish line and Michael not be there. It's, okay, I'm gonna do this, but you better come along because sometimes you don't know if you can do it. Sometimes you look at the things that you think are possible and you don't know where they come from or why you're so inspired to create them, and you can't measure them, and you can't know if they're gonna succeed, which is part of the faith piece. And then you go to see Michael and he looks at you like it's inevitable. What's the worry about? It's already happened. We just have to catch up with the time. And it's that level of confidence that it's pretty powerful. It's super powerful.